So remember what I said before we watched that on the whiteboard is, what are you thinking about? The beginning, the
Middle, and the end.
and we're going to use that word Miss Lacey said, summarize. Thank you, Charlie. We're going to summarize, which means I don't want every detail of the book. You're not going to read it to me word for word. You're going to tell me just the important stuff.
Like
So,
a little bit at the middle, a little bit at the...
little bit at the beginning, little in the middle, little in the end. I like that. Yes. I'm going to start up here with beginning. Raise your hand. Tell me. Oh, actually, I don't want you to tell me. I want you to turn and talk. But first, do y'all want to stretch really quick before we start turning and talk?
Yeah.
Everybody stand up.
This is Simon Says.
Simon says.
Yeah, Simon Says.
Okay, just a smidge. Just a smidge. Just a little
But
bit.
should we do it if we get repeated 3 times?
Simon says, hands in the air. Simon says, hands down low. Simon says, hands on your hips. Hands on your knees. I got a few of you.
Okay,
Okay. Simon says, touch your ears. Simon says, touch your nose. Simon says, do jumping jacks. Simon says, stop. Simon says, sit on your square. Oh man. Simon said, sit on your square. All right. Simon also says, hands in your laps and Layton will step on your hands. Excuse me, Layton, I'm coming through. Now we're gonna get started. Yes, we're gonna talk about beginning. Think about it, and I'm gonna have you turn and talk. So don't blurt out. Don't raise your hand. Look to your side. Who's your neighbor? I want you to turn and talk and think about muncha. For the ending, okay. Well, we're talking about the beginning. I want you to turn and talk with a neighbor when I'm gonna count to 5, and then your turn and talking to a neighbor about just the beginning. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn and talk.
You can be in groups of 3. You can be in groups of
Yes,
3.
you can have more than 2 in your group.
Y'all can talk as a group.
Kevin, talk right here with these girls. Like you too.
Amelia, join them.
Talk about the beginning of the book. What do you think happened in the beginning? Talk to each other.
The last time we
Carolyn.
Mitchell, what did you want to do? Make it hard to pick his words. Good one. So you talk to your friends about it. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2. Everybody's turning to look at Miss Lacey. 1. All right, don't blurt it out. Raise your hand if your group can tell me what happened in the beginning. Let's see. I'm going to start right here with Hensley. What happened in the beginning of the book? He made a wire fence in the beginning. Okay. What did your
7.
group say, Greg?
Kevin.
He went to the store to get stuff to plant the garden. He planted his garden, and whenever at nighttime the bunch of bunnies came in and ate all his crops.
Okay, so he went to the store to buy stuff to plant a garden, and he planted a garden, and the bunnies came in and they munched all his crops. Carson, what did your group think?
Our group thinks that it was not helpful for him to share the garden so they can be healthy and
Okay. So it wasn't really helpful, all the stuff he built. It didn't really keep the bunnies out of the garden. Good idea. But we're thinking about the beginning of the book. Lacey, what happened in the beginning of the book?
he finally went to the store to get a garden.
He wanted to get a garden. He wanted to grow a garden. Bailey, what did your group say about the beginning of the book?
He said that he wanted to grow some plants, so he went to the store to get some seeds.
Okay. Amelia, what did your group say?
We said that after he built his garden,
Mm-hmm.
after he built the wall,
Mm-hmm. good
That's
idea.
what I said.
Alright, but we're just thinking about the beginning. Wait, is this about the beginning? What is it? What did you think happened in the beginning? What happened?
He built a big fence.
He built a big fence because of, around what?
Because of the bunch of
Like, see,
Okay.
put off your head.
So what I hear from you groups is that the main character, what was his name? Mr. what?
This. Mr. Tim?
Mr. McGreely. It was a really big name. Mr. McGreely, the main character, he wanted to build what?
A garden.
A garden. So that I'm gonna say, if I'm gonna try to summarize this book, excuse me, Kevin, will you crisscross applesauce? Thank you, friend. He wanted to build a garden. Why did he want to build a garden? Let me see. Charlie, why did he want to build a garden?
So he has a lot of fruit.
So that he can have a lot of fruit. What else besides fruit? He wanted vegetables. Good job. So he wanted to grow his own vegetables in his garden. He wanted to grow his own. He wanted to grow vegetables. Such a long word. He wanted to grow his own vegetables in his own garden. So, if you never read this book and Miss Lacey told you the beginning, did we do a pretty good job of summarizing it? Is that what happened in the beginning of the book? He wanted to grow his own vegetables in his own garden. Is that what happened?
Yes.
That's the beginning. Now we gotta talk about the middle. Middle, what is that? Is that the end of the book? No, the middle is in between. Look at it says in between. I like how she said that. So if I'm looking at the middle of the book, I'm not gonna turn to the first page, right? I'm not gonna turn to the very back of the book, am I?
No, it's gonna be
In between. That's right. It's in between. Middle is in between. So I'm gonna count to 5, and then you're gonna turn and talk to your neighbor about what happened in the middle of the book. Ready?
Maddox.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn and talk about what happened in the middle of the book. Where he built a wall? Okay. I'm gonna tell you what I know. In the middle of the book, he grew his garden, but every time he went to pick it the next day, the bunnies had already ate it all night. And then he got really, really mad, so he decided to build a little short wall, but they still got in. So the next day, he built an even taller wall, but they still got in. And so the next day, he dug a hole around the river, but they still got in. So then he took concrete and made a huge fortress, and they still got in. You know how? It's nothing to do about it. That's what happened in the middle. He tried all that stuff, and they still got it. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, everybody facing me quiet. 1. All right, raise your hand if you want to tell me what your group remembered about the middle of our book. Lily, what did your group summarize about the middle?
Since the little fence didn't work at the beginning, he built a little bit bigger fence.
Okay, why is he building a fence? What happened? What is his problem?
The bunnies got it.
The bunnies are eating his garden. Okay, so the bunnies are eating his garden. I'm gonna wait. Let's see what the other group. All right, Maddox. What about your group? What did they say?
We think that the bunnies actually dug a hole with that shovel by me, and then I said they may have got a ladder, put it up where you can't see it, and then dug a hole. So that's how they got in, so we would build a bigger fence for a challenge.
So you're thinking of how the bunnies got in the garden, but the problem is in the middle of the book, the bunnies are eating his vegetables in the garden.
You know what happened?
Let me see. Charlie, what did your group think about the middle? What happened in the middle of the book? What was the problem that he's having?
The bunny, the crunchy bunnies
Uh-huh.
came
hold on. The bunnies ate his vegetables. Or they didn't, they
For
ate
crops.
the crops, ate his crops, okay, 'cause he's like a
Crops.
farmer.
And now he
Hang on, hey, I can't hear everybody. The bunnies ate his crops, so the farmer built what?
A tar fence.
Did he build just one fence?
No.
It says he built a wire fence, a wood fence, a concrete fence, a moat. He built lots of things to keep the bunnies out. So the farmer kept building,
But it didn't work.
okay, so
And
the
then-
farmer, or actually he's not really a farmer, is he?
A
or-
gardener. No, he's a gardener.
How about we just say he, Mr. McGreeley? He,
No, I don't want to say Mr.
just a second, he built what?
A
He
fence.
built lots of fences, not just one, he built lots of fences to what? What were the fences for?
To keep
For the bunnies
out.
To
away.
keep the bunnies out.
Out of his life. Like get out of his life, cause maybe should have pointed a gun at him and kept a
Oh,
gun on him.
I think that's a little extreme. Bunnies don't need guns pointed out. We're not gonna talk
No,
about that.
no.
All right, now we've got the beginning. Now we have the middle. Kevin, would you know the middle of the book? The bunnies ate his crops, and so he built lots of fences to keep the bunnies out. Is that right? Thumbs up. Do you agree?
No.
I agree. That's the middle of the book. Now we have one more thing. That's the end of the book. On the count of 5, we are going to turn and talk to our neighbor about the end of the book. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn and talk about the ending. The end of the book. No, you're going to tell me what happened in the end. It's not what happened in the end. What happened in the end. So all his balls, he thought they weren't what they really did. All right, Adrian, I'm going to tell you, go to the drink really quick. Adrian, I'm going to tell you what happened in the book. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. So he built the big giant parking wall. And he climbed the ladder, and he was so excited because he's like, yes, all my vegetables are untouched. But when he brought the basket and he picked the vegetables, the bunnies were actually the basket. And so the whole time he's picking his vegetables, he doesn't know that those bunnies are eating the vegetables right out of the basket. So his ball didn't really work, and the bunnies got the vegetables anyway. Yeah? Is that what you read?
And then the bunnies
Yes?
did.
All right. 5,
I'm sick.
4, oh, we got somebody in there. 3, 2, 1. We are thinking about the ending. Easton Addie, tell me what happened at the end of this book. Okay. So he was excited. He's like, yes, my wall worked. But is that the end? What happened after that? Hang on, I'm talking to Easton. What happened after that? How did they get to his carrots?
Allie.
The bunny snuck in his basket. Maddox, what else?
When he checked on his, when he built that wall, they saw that big block, and they knew they couldn't dig in. So, and when they got, when he opened the door to go get some, they ran in there and got in the basket. And next thing you know, when they're just munching it on his carrots, but then he's being nice to them and sharing.
Okay, so we're going to summarize that, which means I'm going to make it short. We're just going to keep the key details. So what I've heard from the groups is at the end, the bunnies sneak in, right? I got to squat down. Excuse me. The bunnies.
Eat my face.
Hey, what am I hearing behind me? The bunnies sneak in where?
The big wall.
Basket.
The bunnies sneak in the garden.
And then they get the basket.
Oh, that was great. Go quickly. The bunnies sneak in the garden. How? How do they sneak in the garden?
They went through the door. I think they jumped into the basket.
In his basket. Good job, Maddox. In his
He went
basket.
in behind them because he might have not locked the gate behind him when he went in.
The bunnies sneak in the garden in his basket, and what happens in the end? He shares what?
His carrot.
He shares his vegetables.
Cheers.
All right, when I turn around, everybody should be crisscross applesauce, hands in their lap. Watch out. We gotta go over this book. All right, so let's see if we have this summarized, which means just a short outline of the book. Beginning, he wanted to grow his own vegetables in his own garden. The middle, the bunnies ate his crops, so he built lots of fences to keep the bunnies out. The ending, the bunnies sneak in the garden in his basket, and he shares his vegetables. Is that about right?
No.
I mean, I think so.
There's something you probably would have to fit. Yeah, shears.
Well, hey, no, shares is right.
No,
You're
you
gonna
put
get
a
a chance.
period after basket.
I did put a period after basket.
Oopsie.
All right, so you are going to get a chance to write your own beginning, middle, and end about Muncha Muncha on this worksheet. And remember we talked about author's purpose? Raise your hand, don't blurt it out. What was the author's purpose? Was he trying to persuade you? Was he trying to give you information, or was it for fun, entertainment? Raise your hand. Emma, thank you for raising your hand. What was it for? Entertainment. She says the author's purpose is entertainment. And on this worksheet I'm about to hand out, you're going to write right here where it says author's purpose, entertain. He was trying to entertain you. But this is in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. Miss Lacey will leave this up on the board, so if you need to think about it or look back for an idea, but you can write your own sentences. You can tell me the beginning, the middle, and the end, however you want, okay? You describe the book how you want. So, group 1, who is your person for this week? Group 1, Madison, come get these papers, please. And group 1 can follow Madison. There you go. Group 2, who's your person?
Miss
Come here,
Lacey.
Carolyn. Group 3, where's your person?
Miss Lacey.
Yes, Greg.
Do
Group 3.
we have to write? Do we need to write it on the author's purpose to place on the line or
On the line. You may follow Charlie, group 3, group 4. Where's group 4's person?
Give me my
Group 5's person?
right here. Or
Adrian, you want somebody to help you pass them out? And he says she'll help you. Miss Lacey. Okay, one more. I'm sorry, sir.
we also need
Oh my goodness, Miss Lacey did not count correctly. There you go. There you go. Did I get somebody's already in there, Charlie? We're gonna wait. So remember, in the beginning, look at those key words. Miss Lacey has them up here. Write your name at the top. We are 1 minute. We are 1 minute. Be careful, Maddox. Do that. That's dangerous. Beginning, middle, Charlie, we're not talking. Okay. Carol, what you need, baby? I think you already went. Let's get this going. All right. So who's in the bathroom? They didn't move their number, or is there a girl still in there?
Carson's a boy.
And Madison's in there. So wait till she gets back, okay? That's right. We are 1 copy short on this, so
Can I write a different sentence?
yes, you can write whatever sentence you want. You do not have to use Miss Lacey's. These are your ideas. These are just for you to look at if you need to. But if you want to make your own, I think that is great. Probably, yeah. We'll use Delaney's. Thank you. Very sweet. Kevin, let me see. Kevin, go quickly. Make sure you move your number, okay? No, we're not running to the bathroom right now. We had time before this, okay? Let's finish this up first. In the beginning, he wanted to make, and you can write down here underneath if you write a room. I like how you're making your sentence your own, Emma. Good job. And good handwriting. I'm seeing some really good handwriting. Well, if you need an idea, think about what we talked about. We talked about the beginning, the middle, and the end on the carpet, okay? So use those as a guide. Or you can make your own sentence. Grew, G-R-E-W. Sir. We'll see, so you see if there where it says beginning, and it says he wanted to grow his own vegetables in his own garden, you could write that. That's our thoughts. That's what happened in the beginning, okay? Yes. I know, and Kevin's in there, okay? If you need any help, you can raise your hand. This lady's gonna walk around, and I'm gonna check out some of this good handwriting and these really good sentences, okay? Okay. He wanted to grow, I like it. Yes, ma'am.
Who needed another copy, guys?
Delaney.
Delaney.
Madison. Oh, we already got Madison's back, never
So
mind.
this is Delaney's.
He wanted to grow, you need help spelling grow? Look up on the board, just like he has a G-R-O-W. He wanted to grow. Okay? Good story. You can make your own sentence, you don't have to copy those off the board, that's just your ideas, that's what you guys thought. Okay, when we did our turn and talk. So what do you need help with? What are you thinking?
Keep easy.
Did you forget your question? What are you talking about? It's okay. When you think of it, come back to me, okay? It's okay. He went to the store for some seeds. Good job, Olivia. She made her own sentence. She said he went to the store for some seeds. He wanted to grow, I love it. He wanted to grow his own vegetables. Build. It's right here on the board. Well, it says build. B-U-I-L-D is build.
Or you could spell with the D at the end.
Yeah, that's what I just said. B-U-I-L-D. Build.
Or you could spell with the T and.
Yes, make sure your name's at
I
the
don't
top.
have enough room.
If you don't have enough room, you can go right here underneath it. Okay?
Is this
Yeah.
What about the period?
You can make your own period. He build. Or how about built with T? Built. Yes. It is how you spell fence. Good job. He built a fence. Good job. Fence. Oh, right here it says fences. So if you just want one fence, you would take that S off, right? So fence.
We
Yes.
have to do,
There's already one in there. No, you've already went one class period. You're going to just look, okay? Rabbits. R-A-C-B-I-T-S. When you're done, you draw on the back. Make sure it's complete sentences though, okay?
How do you spell he shared?
It's on the board.
Here, I'll show you.
Yeah, or ask your neighbor. Layton says he knows how.
That
Good
one.
handwriting. Bunny, it's up on the board. Bunnies, or you want to spell bunny or bunnies?
Is this,
It's right there on the
is
board.
this how you spell reading?
Reading, R-E-A-D-I-N-G. R-E-A-D-I-N-G. Look right here, Bailey. Yes, you can make your own theory, Charlie. Look right there, Bailey.